From the shadows of my living room, I watched as my wife and her lover prepared dinner, while I silently plotted their demise. Be me, 31-year-old Lucas Harrison, working as a successful software architect in San Francisco, living what most would call a perfect life. Beautiful house near the beach. Perfect wife named Amy. Everything seems Instagram perfect on the surface. It all started with coffee one morning. Not just any coffee, the kind I absolutely despise. Too sweet and drowning in caramel syrup, topped with a mountain of whipped cream. Amy never drank that kind of coffee. Not once in our entire marriage. She was always black coffee, no sugar type. We used to mock people who turned coffee into desserts. But there it was. Half-finished cup sitting on our granite counter. Early Saturday morning. Cheap vanilla scent filling our kitchen. Got up early for client meeting. Amy nowhere to be found. Her designer purse missing too. First thought was normal. Maybe grocery shopping. Maybe friends stopped by. She came back an hour later. Not completely disheveled, but definitely not her usual polished self. Hair slightly messy. Small smudge of lipstick at corner of her mouth. Morning, she says too brightly. Drops her bag on our kitchen chair. Kisses my cheek like nothing's wrong. Feels distracted. Different. Morning. You left early, I say. Glancing at her expensive bag, she gives me that smile. The one that usually makes me forget everything? Yeah, needed to clear my head. Went for a drive. Grabbed some coffee. Points to that cursed cup on counter. You hate sweet coffee, I say. Can't stop myself. Her face freezes for a split second. So brief I might have missed it, if I wasn't already suspicious. Then she laughs it off. Just craving something different. You know how it is. No, I don't know how it is. I know Amy. Or thought I did. She doesn't crave sugary coffee. Doesn't sneak out before sunrise. But I let it go. File it away for later. That was the first crack. The second crack came 3 days later. Found a receipt in the trash. Crumpled up like she tried to hide it. Not for coffee this time. Receipt for flowers. Single bouquet of red roses. Paid in cash. Amy never carries cash. She definitely doesn't buy roses for herself. Who were the roses for? I asked that evening. Holding the receipt like a lawyer with evidence. Her eyes dart to the paper. She blinks, caught off guard. Oh, those? They were for my mom. You know how much she loves fresh flowers. I nod, pretending to believe her. But my gut knows better. Amy's mom has been traveling in Europe for weeks. Then the phone calls started. Quiet whispered conversations. Always in bedroom or out on patio. She used to laugh freely on her phone. Talking with friends for hours. But these calls were different. Muted, cautious, secretive. One night I stay up late, pretending to sleep on living room couch. Amy still in kitchen. Hear her phone buzz, then a soft giggle. The kind she hasn't directed at me in months. I shift slightly, acting like I'm stirring in my sleep. Sound stops immediately. Minute later, she's standing over me. Lucas? She whispers. You awake? Stay perfectly still. She sighs softly. Footsteps heading upstairs. By now, the cracks aren't just cracks. They're becoming fractures. Something is definitely happening, and I'm not letting it slide. The final straw hits on a Friday night. Supposed to be at client dinner meeting. Gets canceled last minute. Don't tell Amy. Want to surprise her. Pull into driveway around 8. House is dark, except for soft candlelight in living room window. Step inside quiet as a ghost. Hear laughter from living room. Amy's laugh. Musical and light. But there's another voice. A man's voice. Low and familiar. My heart pounds like a drum. Walk closer to living room. Don't burst in. Stand in hallway. Listen carefully. You always pick the best wine, the man says. You're just saying that because you like the company, Amy replies. Voice light and flirting. Can't take it anymore. Step into the room. Amy freezes. Wine glass in her manicured hand. The man on our couch turns slowly. Face going pale when he sees me. Ryan, my supposed friend from CrossFit gym. Matt Emily said, her voice tight with forced calm. What are you doing home? Lucas, Amy says with forced calm. What are you doing home? Ryan looks like trapped animal, still holding his wine glass. Could ask you the same thing, I say. Voice cold as winter. Look at half-burned candles. Expensive Merlot on table. The way they're sitting, too close, too comfortable. Amy opens her mouth to speak. Hold up my hand to stop her. Don't, I say. Not yet. Let me guess. You were just catching up. Just two old friends? Ryan stands up quickly, stammering about leaving, but I'm not done. Sit, I command. He freezes like statue. Room feels thick with tension. Only sound is my heavy breathing. Amy's face changes, her innocent mask slipping. Lucas, she says sharply. Don't make a scene. But it's way too late for that. Her words hit like physical slap. Don't make a scene. Like this is about keeping appearances. Like our pristine throw pillows she obsesses over. Vision narrows, pulse thundering in my ears. Ryan tries standing again, mumbling about leaving. Sit down. My voice isn't loud, but carries weight that pins him to spot. Point to chair across from couch. He obeys like guilty kid, waiting for punishment. Amy rolls her eyes, crosses her arms over chest. You're overreacting, Lucas. Ryan and I were just having wine and talking. That's it. Talking by candlelight? With the anniversary Merlot we were saving? Words cut deeper than intended, but can't stop now. Do I look like complete idiot to you, Amy? Her lips tighten to thin line. Don't twist this into something it's not. Ryan clears his throat. Trying to speak? Hey man, it's not what you think. We're just friends. You know me. Shut up. Turn on him, fists clenched tight. You're in my house, drinking my wine, with my wife. You don't get to talk right now. Ryan shrinks back. Adam's apple bobbing nervously. Amy sighs dramatically, like this whole confrontation is beneath her. For God's sake, Lucas, stop being so paranoid. Ryan needed advice about project at work, and I offered to help. It's not a crime. Let out humorless laugh. Oh, you're helping him all right. That's what this is? Gesture at cozy setup. The half-empty wine bottle. The candles. The subtle perfume that isn't hers, lingering in air. Her tone turns icy. You're embarrassing yourself. Step closer. Voice dropping low. You think this is embarrassing? Embarrassing is your husband catching you playing house with another man. Embarrassing is you making me feel crazy for months. Pretending I'm imagining things while you sneak around behind my back. She flinches slightly, just for a moment, but recovers quickly. There's nothing to sneak around about. God, Lucas. You're acting like some insecure teenager. Turn to Ryan, who's now staring at floor, like it holds answers to all his problems. Let me guess. She told you we were having problems. That I don't appreciate her? Don't pay attention to her. That's the script, right? He doesn't answer, but guilty flicker in his eyes says enough. Amy throws up her hands in frustration. This is ridiculous. Ryan and I haven't done anything wrong. If you're so insecure, maybe that's the real issue here. Bark a laugh, sharp and bitter like old coffee. Insecure. You think this is about insecurity? No, Amy. This is about trust. The trust you shattered. The moment you let this guy into our space, her mask cracks for briefest moment. Flash of frustration breaks through. You're blowing this out of proportion. Nothing happened. Lean in close. Voice becomes dangerous whisper. Nothing happened yet. But it's not because you didn't want it to. It's because I got here first. Room goes completely silent. Can only hear faint hum of fridge and kitchen. Tension thick enough to choke on. Ryan finally finds his voice. Look, man, I'm sorry. I should go. Stands up quickly, moving toward door, like rat abandoning sinking ship. Yeah, I say, voice dripping with venom. You should. Ryan pauses at door, looks back at Amy, like he wants to say something. She won't even meet his gaze. He leaves without another word. Turn back to Amy. She's glaring at me now, like I'm villain in this story. Do you feel better now? Chased him off. Great job, Lucas. Her defiance feels like slap to face. Want to yell, want to demand answers, but something inside shifts. Done fighting for someone who clearly doesn't care. Why, I ask. Voice quieter now. Why would you do this to us? She scoffs loudly. Oh, spare me the martyr act. Our marriage hasn't exactly been fairy tale, Lucas. You're so busy with work. With your perfect plans. When was the last time you even asked how I was feeling? It's low blow and she knows it. Schedule has been brutal lately, but always made time for her. Or thought I did. Now not sure if anything I've done was enough. So this is my fault, I ask. Voice breaking despite myself. You could have talked to me, Amy. Instead you let this guy. Her expression hardens again, like marble statue. This conversation is over. I'm not doing this with you right now. She storms upstairs, leaving me alone, in wreckage of our living room. Stare at candles, at wine, at place where Ryan sat. My hands are shaking, chest feels hollow. No anger will come later. Right now, all I can feel is weight of betrayal, pressing down until can barely breathe. Sit in empty living room, staring at remnants of their little rendezvous. Candles flicker weakly. Flames almost dead. Wine bottle still half full. Mocks me from coffee table. Air is heavy, thick with lingering scent of her Chanel perfume. And his Armani cologne, blending into something toxic. House is too quiet now. Can hear Amy moving around upstairs. Drawers opening. Her walk-in closet door creaking shut. She's probably pretending to cool off. Like this is just another petty argument. But it's not. This isn't about forgotten trash or leaving lights on. This is war. Need proof. Amy had lied so smoothly, like she'd been rehearsing for weeks. Nothing happened. I was overreacting. I was insecure. But I'm not crazy. Not about to let her rewrite the narrative. Grab my phone, open her laptop. Message notification I'd seen weeks ago. One from Ryan, burned into my memory. If there were more, I'd find them. Her laptop password protected. But she isn't exactly creative. On third try, I'm in. Her email is clean. Browsing history too clean. She's not stupid. But her social media messages, she hadn't thought to delete those. First few messages are harmless. Friends, coworkers, nothing unusual. Then find string of conversations with Ryan. Started innocently enough. Banter about CrossFit routines. Jokes about work. But as scroll through, tone shifts dramatically. His messages get bolder. Compliments on her appearance. Inside jokes I don't understand. Mentions of grabbing coffee. Meeting up while I'm at work. Then buried deep in thread. Find a photo? Not explicit, but intimate in its own way. Amy in black dress I'd never seen. Smiling in way that feels private. Meant only for him. Caption reads, "Wish you were here." Stare at screen. Hand trembling. Mind racing. Piecing together timeline. She'd worn that dress. Night she claimed to be out with girls. Remember asking about it. Teasing her for looking so fancy. She laughed it off. Girls got to dress up sometimes. Betrayal hits like second wave. Pulling me under. This isn't just flirting. This is calculated. Take screenshots of everything. Every message. Every photo. Every piece of evidence. Heart pounding as work. Fury building with each discovery. Then find something? Makes my blood turn to ice. Draft email she'd never sent. Addressed to Ryan. Ryan, I can't stop thinking about last night. Feels like I'm alive for first time in years. When I'm with you, I hate sneaking around. But I don't know how to tell Lucas. He's so predictable. So safe. I don't want to hurt him. But I can't pretend anymore. Email wasn't finished. But damage was done. Stare at her words. Each one cutting like blade. Predictable. Safe. That's how she saw me. Close laptop. Sit back in leather chair. Try to breathe through storm of emotions. Anger, hurt, betrayal, humiliation. Hear her footsteps upstairs. She's coming down. Don't move. Don't trust myself to speak. Without exploding, Amy walks into room. Arms crossed over chest. Expression carefully neutral. Changed into gray yoga pants. Hair pulled back in messy bun. Perfect image of someone. Trying to act unbothered. Have you calmed down yet? She asks. Tone clipped and cold. Stare at her. Keep face completely blank. Calm isn't the word I'd use. She sighs heavily. Look, I'm sorry if tonight upset you. But you have to trust me. Nothing's going on with Ryan. You're making this into something it's not. Her words are like gasoline. On fire already burning inside me. Nothing's going on? I ask. Voice dangerously calm. That's what I said, she snaps. Tone defensive. Pull out phone. Open screenshots without word. Hold it out to her. She glances at screen. Expression falters. Lips part slightly, like she wants to speak, but no words come. Face drains of all color as she swipes through images. When finally looks up, her eyes are wide with panic. You went through my stuff? Let out laugh. Bitter sound. Doesn't even feel like it came from me. That's what you're upset about? That I found out? Not that you lied to my face? Or that you've been sneaking around with him? Her panic shifts to anger, eyes narrowing. You had no right to invade my privacy. Privacy? I shoot back. Voice rising. You're married to me, Amy. You don't get to talk about privacy. While you're sending photos to another man and writing love letters behind my back, she flinches, but quickly recovers, jaw tightening like steel trap. You don't understand. It's not what it looks like. Step closer to her. Then explain it to me. Explain how I misunderstood. I can't stop thinking about last night. Go on, I'll wait. Her eyes dart around room, looking for escape when none comes. Folds arms again, says coldly. Fine, you want the truth? You've been checked out for months, Lucas. You don't even see me anymore. Ryan does. He makes me feel wanted. Her words are like physical slap. Stagger under their weight, but underneath pain, something inside me hardens. Smile then. Cold, calculated, dangerous. Wanted? I repeat. Don't worry, Amy. You're going to feel a lot more than that. When I'm done, she blinks, confused. Walk past her, head toward stairs. Where are you going? She calls after me. Voice tinged with fear. To plan, I say. Without looking back, Upstairs in master bedroom. Quiet feels suffocating. Shut heavy oak door behind me. Lean against it. Fists clenched at sides. Amy's words echo in head, like cruel taunt. He makes me feel wanted. Not sure what hate more, her betrayal, or smug satisfaction she seemed to take in it. Way she stood there, defending her actions, like I'm villain for discovering truth. Anger boils over, hot and volatile. But instead of erupting, it hardens into something colder, sharper. Mind begins racing, calculating every move. She thought she could outmaneuver me, spin her lies until too exhausted to keep up. But she underestimated me. If she wants to play games, I'll play. And I'll win! Next morning, Amy acts like nothing happened, avoids me over breakfast, iPhone glued to her hand. Watch her from corner of eye, while sip morning espresso. She's texting someone, probably Ryan. Her thumb hovers over screen. Expression shifts between annoyance and worry. Plans today? I ask casually. Setting ceramic mug down. She flinches, barely masks her surprise. No. Just running errands later. Nod, keeping tone neutral. Mind if I take the Tesla? Been meaning to get tires checked. Her lips press into thin line. She always uses car for her little excursions. Actually, I was going to use it. Need to pick up some things for house. Really? What things? She hesitates, caught off guard by question. Just groceries and cleaning supplies. Smile faintly. Lean back in kitchen chair. Sounds good. Let me know if need help carrying anything. Her shoulders relax slightly, but tension remains in jaw. Not making this easy for her, and she knows it. By time she leaves, house feels empty, almost hollow. Stay behind, not because trust her, but because have plan. This isn't time to chase her down or confront her again. Need to let her feel secure. Think she's safe. Spend next few hours preparing. Every move made is deliberate, calculated like chess game. First comb through screenshots again. Organize them into detailed timeline. Each message carefully labeled, each photo documented, every moment ready to paint picture she can't deny. Then call friend, Benjamin, corporate lawyer I trust. Explain situation, without diving into emotions. Facts, remind myself. Stick to cold hard facts. By time we hang up, have clear understanding of options. But that's not enough. Need something bigger, something undeniable. Start setting up cameras, small discreet ones. Picked them up months ago for home security. Never installed them. One in living room corner, one in gourmet kitchen, one in master bedroom. Don't know when she'll slip again, but want to be ready? By time Amy returns, I'm sitting in living room, scrolling through phone. She walks in with few Whole Foods bags, expression carefully neutral. You've been quiet today, she says. Setting bags on marble counter. Just thinking, I reply. She pauses, watches me like waiting for something. When don't say more. She busies herself putting groceries away. Dinner plans? I ask casually. Glancing up from phone. No, I'm tired. Long day. She's lying. Don't even have to try to catch it. Rest of evening passes in intense silence. She stays on phone, scrolling aimlessly. While pretend to read book, my mind elsewhere. Need to be patient. Wait for right moment. Strike comes next night. Amy says going out with friend. Tone casual but avoiding eye contact. Body language stiff as bored. Leaves after dinner. Phone tucked in designer purse. Like lifeline. Moment front door closes. Grab MacBook Pro. Pull up camera feeds. Living room shows nothing at first. Just stillness of empty house. But not interested in what's happening now. Want to know where she's going. Using tracking app. Discreetly installed weeks ago. Watch her location shift. She's not meeting friend. She's heading to Ryan's place. Heart pounds watching screen. Want to jump in car? Catch them and act. Force myself to stay put. This isn't the time. Instead, wait. Hours later, Amy returns home. Doesn't bother sneaking in. Walks through door like owns place. Face flushed pink. Hair slightly disheveled. Glances at me. Still sitting in same leather armchair. All evening. Hey, she says. Voice light. Almost cheerful. Still up? Nod slowly. Keep expression blank. Couldn't sleep. She hesitates for a moment. Then shrugs delicate shoulders. Well, I'm going to bed. Long day tomorrow. As walks past me, catch faint whiff of cologne. Ryan's cologne. Don't say anything. Not yet. Instead, lean back on couch. Staring at darkened screen of iPhone. Already know how this ends? Waiting in living room. My wife and her lover make coffee. Plan my ruthless revenge. Morning after her little outing with Ryan. Amy acts like nothing happened. Hums softly while makes herself latte. Every move casual. Unbothered. But can see it now. Cracks in her performance. Her cheerfulness is forced. Smile tight around edges. She's playing her part. Trying to keep illusion intact. Play along. Sleep well? I ask. Keep voice calm. She glances at me, expression unreadable. Yeah, you? Eventually, I reply. Sip my espresso slowly. Don't miss way her eyes flicker to face, searching for signs of confrontation. When doesn't find any, she relaxes slightly. Good. She needs to think I'm backing off. Day passes uneventfully. Amy leaves for work. Spend hours preparing. Don't need to confront her again. Already have evidence. What need now is leverage. By time she returns home, have everything in place. Dinner ready on table. Her favorite pasta dish, one haven't cooked in months. Table set perfectly. Crystal candles lit. Expensive Bordeaux poured. Want her to feel safe? Comfortable. Wow, she says. Steps into formal dining room. What's the occasion? Do I need reason to spoil my wife? Flash smile that doesn't reach eyes. She hesitates for fraction of second. Before returning smile. Guess not. We sit down to eat. Tension in air so subtle, almost imperceptible. Amy talks about her day. Voice light and breezy. Nod at right moments. Chime in when appropriate. Mostly let her fill silence. She doesn't notice way I study her. Every word. Every gesture. She doesn't notice way my mind. Already 2 steps ahead. After dinner. Pour us both another glass. Of expensive Bordeaux. Lean back in dining chair. Remember when we used to do this more often? Ask in casual tone. She blinks. Caught off guard by sudden shift. Yeah? Life just got busy, I guess. Busy, I repeat. Swirl wine in crystal glass. That's one word for it. Her smile falters slightly. What's that supposed to mean? Set glass down carefully. Meet her gaze directly. It means I think we should talk. Her defenses go up immediately. About what? You, me, Ryan. Her face goes pale, but recovers quickly. Forces laugh that sounds hollow. Are we seriously doing this again? I told you there's nothing going on. Reach into pocket. Pull out iPhone. Open screenshots. Slide it across polished table to her. Explain this then, I say. Voice steady as surgeon's hand. Her eyes widen looking at screen. Messages. Photos. Draft email she never sent. Lucas, I can... Don't lie to me, Amy, interrupta. Tone sharp as razor. You've been lying to my face for months. This is your chance to tell truth. She sits there frozen, mouth opening and closing, like fish out of water. Do you love him? I ask. Words taste bitter as medicine. Her head snaps up. What? No. It's not like that. Then what is it? Demand answer, because from where I'm sitting, looks like you've been cheating on me with him. Want to explain how I'm wrong? Her hands tremble. As sets phone down on table. It's complicated. Complicated? Repeat. Voice, dripping with sarcasm. Let me simplify it for you. You lied. You betrayed me. And now you're caught. Her eyes fill with tears, but don't feel ounce of sympathy. Not anymore. Lucas, I didn't mean for this to happen. She says, voice shaking like autumn leaf. I was lonely. And Ryan, he was there. But it didn't mean anything. I swear. Laugh comes out, cold and humorless as winter night. Didn't mean anything? Then why did you write that email? Why did you sneak around behind my back? Why did you come home smelling like his cologne? She doesn't have answer. Stand up slowly. Tower over her at dining table. You think I'm stupid, Amy? That I wouldn't figure it out? That I'd just let you keep humiliating me? Tears stream down her face now, ruining perfect makeup. But I'm not done. Want to know what I did today? I ask. Voice calm as still water, almost conversational. I called Benjamin. Know exactly what my options are. And trust me, you're not walking away from this unscathed. Her breath catches. Panic flashes across face, like lightning and storm. Lucas, please. We can fix this. I'll end it with Ryan. I swear. It was mistake. Lean in close. Voice becomes deadly whisper. Mistake wasn't Ryan, Amy. Mistake was underestimating me. Turn and walk out of room. Leave her sitting there, broken and sobbing, like porcelain doll dropped on marble floor. Upstairs, close bedroom door behind me. Lean against solid oak, heart pounding like war drum. This isn't over? Not by long shot. Next morning, house eerily quiet. Like abandoned church, Amy doesn't come down for breakfast. Don't go looking for her. Have too much to do. Last night was just prelude. Now time for main act. Spend morning tying up loose ends, making phone calls, reviewing every detail of plan. Everything has to be perfect, not just ending this nightmare, ensuring she feels full weight of choices. Around noon, Amy finally emerges. Face pale and puffy from crying. Avoids my eyes. Moves around designer kitchen, making herself vanilla latte. We need to talk, she says finally. Voice small as mouse. Look up from MacBook Pro. Do we? Yes, she says. Little more forcefully this time. I know you're angry. But I... Stop, cut her off. You don't get to explain this away. Not anymore? Her mouth snaps shut. For a moment, just stares at me, like seeing stranger, then sighs heavily, sinks into kitchen chair across from me. What do you want me to say? She asks, tone defensive. That I'm sorry? Because I messed up, Lucas. But you're not perfect either. You work late? You're always stressed. Half the time feels like I'm invisible to you. Her attempt to shift blame doesn't surprise me, but still stings like wasp. Save it, say coldly. This isn't about me. It's about you and choices you made. Could have come to me if unhappy. Instead decided to crawl into Ryan's arms. She flinches at words, but doesn't argue. Close laptop slowly. Lean forward. Fix her with piercing stare. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to pack bag and leave today. Her eyes widen in shock. What? Lucas, no. This isn't up for debate, say firmly. You wanted Ryan? Congratulations. You're free to have him. But you're not staying here. Tears well up in her eyes again, like morning dew. Stand up from kitchen table, walk to panoramic window, stare out at manicured garden. I'll be generous. Can stay at your mom's or Ritz-Carlton. Don't care. Meeting with Benjamin tomorrow? We'll figure out rest then. She stands up abruptly, ceramic chair scraping against marble floor. You're really going to throw away everything we've built? Just like that? Turn to face her, expression unreadable as stone. You threw it away, Amy. Second you let Ryan into our lives, you destroyed everything. Don't act like this is my fault. She stares at me. Long moment stretches like rubber band, her manicured hands trembling at sides. Finally grabs designer coffee mug. Storms out of room. Door slams like thunderclap. Let out slow breath. Try to steady myself. Confrontation exhausting, but necessary. Now all have to do is wait. Then, as if on cue, iPhone buzzes on granite counter. Notification from tracking app. Amy has left house. Watch her location move on screen. Heading in direction already know too well. Ryan's place? Hands tighten around phone, until knuckles turn white. As pieces of plan fall into place, she thinks can run to him, that he'll provide some safe haven. She doesn't know what have in store. Grab Tesla keys from crystal bowl. Slip outdoor, pulse steady as metronome. Mind focused like laser. Amy and Ryan made their choices. Now it's my turn. Trap is set. Ready to spring it. Follow tracking app. Keep safe distance. As Amy's blue dot moves steadily. Toward Ryan's place, not far. 15-minute drive across Bay Area. To modest apartment complex. Where already visited once. Not physically, of course. Done homework online. Looking up Ryan's address. His work history. Even his social media. By time parked Tesla across street. Heart pounding like war drum. Not from nerves, though. From anticipation. Like predator waiting to strike. Wait. Watching her white Lexus pull into lot. Park near building entrance. She steps out. Looking around briefly. Before heading to Ryan's apartment. Wearing same fake confidence. Used on me last night. But can see through it now. Every move screams desperation. Like wounded animal. Let her get inside. Then wait. 20 minutes pass like molasses. iPhone buzzes with messages. Screenshots and confirmations. From private investigator hired days ago. Last minute decision. Paid off in ways hadn't expected. Turns out Ryan isn't squeaky clean, as Amy probably believed. Not just some CrossFit buddy, or harmless flirt. He has history. Messy one. Financial troubles like sinking ship. String of failed relationships. Some overlapping suspiciously. With married women. Have file thick enough to bury him. Like avalanche. Check Rolex watch. Time to move. Cross street towards apartment complex. With calm, don't entirely feel fists clench and unclench at sides. Like nervous habit. Climb stairs to his unit. Each step echoing in hallway. Stop in front of his door. Doctor number 305 staring back. Pause for moment. Gather myself like soldier before battle. Then knock. Sound echoes through hallway. Like gunshot. For few seconds, nothing happens. Then footsteps approaching. Daughter opens slightly, revealing Ryan's face. Expression shifts from surprise to unease. Quick as lightning. Lucas, he says. Voice uncertain as quicksand. What are you doing here? Can we talk? I ask. Tone measured as scientist. He hesitates. Glances back into apartment. Now's not really good time. Push door open before he can stop me. Ryan stumbles back like startled deer. Hands raised defensively. Hey man, wait. Inside apartment smells of expensive cologne and Chinese takeout. Amy standing in living room. Eyes wide as saucers with shock. like caught thief. Lucas, she stammers. Clutching iPhone like shield. Close door behind me. Lock it with quiet click. Sound echoes in tense silence. Like final nail in coffin. Hello, Ryan, I say. Voice low and steady as river. Amy? Ryan shifts uncomfortably, eyes darting between us. Like trapped animal. Look, man. I think you should go. This isn't what it looks like. Tilt head slightly, pretending to consider his words. Really? Because it looks exactly like what thought it would be. My wife and her lover. Hiding out in cheap apartment. Hoping I wouldn't find out. Amy steps forward, voice trembling like autumn leaf. Lucas, stop. You're blowing this out of proportion. Am I? Snap back. Turn to face her. I caught you. Have proof. And now you're here. In his apartment. Lying to my face again? Ryan raises hands, voice shaky as earthquake. Okay, look. Let's all just calm down. All right. Nobody needs to do anything crazy. Turn to him, eyes cold as Arctic winter. Crazy? You think this is crazy? No, Ryan. Crazy is inviting another man's wife into your bed and thinking there wouldn't be consequences. Ryan takes step back, face pale as ghost. I didn't. Don't lie to me, say sharply. I've seen messages. The photos. I know everything. Amy starts crying then. Soft, desperate sobs. Like wounded bird. That grate against my nerves. Like nails on chalkboard. Lucas, please. I didn't mean for this to happen. It was mistake. Turn to her, eyes cold as winter storm. Mistake? Bark bitter laugh. No, Amy. Mistake is forgetting anniversary. Or burning dinner? This was choice. Over and over again. You chose to betray me. Ryan opens mouth to speak, but silence him with Arctic glare. You stay out of this. I'm not done with you yet. Amy sinks onto leather couch, face buried in manicured hands. Pull out latest iPhone Pro. Set it on glass coffee table. Here's how this going to go. You're going to listen. And you're not going to interrupt? Got it? Neither answers. But silence is enough. Press play on recording. Conversation Ryan had with another woman, one of his previous friends. Details aren't flattering, like dirty laundry and wind. Amy's head shoots up, face mix of confusion and horror, like watching car crash. What is this? Ryan's greatest hits, say coldly. Turns out your little boyfriend here has habit of getting involved with married women, and when things go south, he doesn't leave quietly. Ryan looks panicked now, hands shaking like leaves. You had no right. I had every right, snap back. You came into my life, my marriage, thought you could get away with it. Did you think I wouldn't fight back? Amy stares at Ryan, cracks in her trust spreading, like spiderweb on glass. Ryan, is this true? Ryan stammers, searching for words, like drowning man for rope. But don't give him chance. Save it, I say. You're both liars. Now you'll both face consequences. Stand up straight, voice calm but firm as steel. Amy, I'll see you in court. And Ryan, stay hell away from my wife. Or next visit won't be so polite. Without waiting for response, turn and walk out. Door slamming shut behind me, like thunder in mountains. First move was mine. But game isn't over. Not by long shot. Drive home quiet as tomb. Only sound is my breathing. Hands grip Tesla steering wheel. So tight knuckles turn white as snow. Force myself to calm down. This isn't time for rage. That part of me, part that wanted to scream, to lash out, to destroy everything they thought could keep hidden, had already been unleashed. Now time for control. Like chess master planning moves. When pull into circular driveway. Sit in car for moment, staring at Mediterranean-style house. Looks same as always. Perfect landscaping. Warm glow of designer porch lights. Illuminating grand entrance. But inside, everything different. This isn't home anymore. Step inside. Close heavy oak doors softly. Silence wraps around me. Like thick wool blanket. Suffocating but oddly comforting. Walk to living room. Sink into Italian leather armchair. Stare at empty space. Where Amy sat just night before. Her voice. Her laughter. Her lies. All replay in mind. Like broken record on loop. iPhone 15. Pro buzzes on marble coffee table. Text from Amy. I need to talk to you. Please don't do this. I'm sorry. Stare at message for long moment, like studying ancient text. Before setting phone back down, she doesn't deserve answer. Not yet. Next morning, another text comes through. Not from Amy this time. It's from Ryan. Hey man. Look, I know we got off on wrong foot last night. I just want to clear air. Can we talk? Audacity makes me laugh out loud. Sharp, bitter sound echoes through empty house, like ghost's mockery. Ryan wants to clear air, like this is some minor misunderstanding. Over borrowed golf clubs. Don't respond. Instead, forward message to Benjamin. Meeting with him scheduled for afternoon. When arrive at his downtown office, he greets me with firm handshake and leather folder, already thick with documents, like novel of betrayal. He doesn't waste time with pleasantries. True to his Harvard law reputation, I've reviewed everything you sent me, spread screenshots and evidence across polished mahogany desk. This is solid. There's no question about what's been going on. And the divorce? I ask. Voice steady as surgeon's hand. He nods confidently. We'll file immediately. With this level of evidence, court will likely rule in your favor, both for property division and emotional damages. But there's one thing we need to discuss. What's that? He leans back in executive chair, expression serious as judge. Do you want this to get messy? Because if you're ready to go scorched earth, we can, but it's going to get ugly and fast. For a moment, I hesitate. Part of me wants to burn it all down, make Amy and Ryan regret every choice they'd made, like avenging angel. But then think about cost, not just to them, but to me. No, I say finally. Voice clear as crystal. Don't want messy, want final. Want this done quickly and cleanly? Benjamin nods approvingly. Like master to student, expression shows I made right choice. Smart choice. Leave destruction to me. When get back home, Amy waiting for me, sitting on marble porch steps, face pale as moonlight, honey blonde hair pulled back. In messy designer bun, she looks like hasn't slept in days. Lucas, she says, standing as approach. We need to talk. Stop few feet away. Keep expression neutral as mask. About what? You've said enough already. Her eyes fill with tears, like morning rain. But don't flinch at sight. I'm sorry, she says. Voice breaking like thin ice. I know I messed up. I hurt you. But please don't throw everything away. We can fix this. Fix it? Repeat. Tone cold as January night. You didn't mess up, Amy. You made choices. Over and over again. You chose him over me, and now you want to fix it? What does that even mean? She steps closer, designer heels clicking on marble, hands trembling like autumn leaves. I'll do anything, Lucas. I'll cut Ryan out of my life. Go to counseling. Whatever it takes. Just please don't leave me. Desperation in her voice is real, like drowning person grasping for rope. But doesn't move me. Not anymore. It's too late for that. Say voice firm as granite. Already spoken with Benjamin. Papers will be filed this week. Her face crumbles like ancient ruins, sinks back onto marble steps. You don't mean that. You can't just give up on us. Crouch down so we're eye level, my gaze piercing hers like sword. You gave up on us. The moment you let him into our lives? I'm just cleaning up mess you made. She sobs then, loud and broken, like shattered glass. But don't stay to comfort her. Walk past her into house, heavy oak door closing behind me. For first time in months, feel sense of control. Fallout had begun. No turning back now. Amy doesn't leave porch for hours. From living room window, can see her sitting there, hunched over like wilted flower, clutching iPhone Pro, like it held answers to test. She hadn't studied for. She doesn't try to come back inside. And don't invite her. Have no intention of making this easier. By evening, she's gone. White Lexus isn't in circular driveway anymore. Don't ask where she went. iPhone buzzes few times. Texts from her. Voicemails I don't bother listening to. Already blocked Ryan. Like erasing virus from system. Silence of house feels like both. Blessing and curse. Gives room to breathe. To think, but also reminds me of what lost. Or maybe what never really had. In first place. Not sad though. Not anymore. Anger had burned through me. Like forest fire. Leaving something harder and sharper behind. Next morning, Benjamin calls on my iPhone. It's done, he says. Voice professional as always. Papers are filed. Now just matter of serving her. Nod even though he can't see me. Make sure it's official. No room for misinterpretation. He chuckles softly, like satisfied cat. Don't worry. She'll know exactly where you stand. That afternoon, receive call from unknown number. Almost don't answer, but something makes me pick up. Lucas. Ryan's voice comes through line, hesitant and strained, like guilty child. Don't say anything at first. Let silence stretch. Long enough for him to start, second-guessing himself. Look, man, he says finally. I know you're pissed, and you have every right to be, but I wanted to apologize. I didn't mean for things to get this far. Let out bitter laugh, sharp as razor blade. You didn't mean for what, Ryan? To sleep with my wife? To lie to my face? To ruin my marriage? His breath catches, like fish on hook. It wasn't like that. I swear. Amy said things between you two were over. That she was staying for convenience. Don't, snap voice. Cold as Arctic winter. Don't you dare try to justify what you did? By blaming her. You knew exactly what you were doing. You just didn't think you'd get caught. Ryan's silence is answer enough. Here's how this going to work. Say tone steady and deliberate, like judge passing sentence. You're going to stay away from me. From my house, from my life. If you so much as breathe in my direction again, I'll bury you. Do you understand? Yeah, he mutters. Like scolded puppy, I get it. Good. Hang up before you can say another word. Like cutting dead branch from tree. Next few days are whirlwind. Like tornado tearing through life. Paperwork. Meetings with Benjamin. Quiet satisfaction of knowing. Amy's world was crumbling. Like House of Cards. Day she was served was almost anticlimactic. Wasn't home when it happened. Deliberately so. But when returned, there was note, taped to solid oak front door. In her elegant handwriting, Lucas, please call me. I'll do anything to fix this. Don't let it end like this. Amy, tear note down. Throw it in crystal trash bin. Without second thought, like discarding junk mail. Not done yet. Final piece of plan comes together. When send Ryan's file, his history, incriminating messages, every sordid detail, to his employer, little anonymous email, with enough evidence to ensure he'd be answering questions. For weeks, like time bomb finally detonating. Don't need to know what happened next. Enough to know seed had been planted, like poison ivy in garden. Amy tries calling again that night. This time I answer. Lucas, she says, voice breaking like china. Please, I can't do this without you. I made mistake, but I love you. We can fix this. We can go to counseling. Start over. Anything you want. Her desperation is palpable, like thick fog in air, but doesn't move me. Not even slightly. You love me? I ask. Voice calm as still pond. Funny. That's not what your text to Ryan said. Lucas, please, she sobs. On other end of line. But I hang up before she can say more. Satisfaction I felt wasn't kind. That brings joy. It was cold. Empty. But necessary as surgery. Pieces were falling into place. Like perfect game of chess. And end was finally in sight. Like light at tunnel's end. Night after our last conversation. House silent again. Kind of silence that feels heavy. Like lead blanket. Amy's presence lingers faintly. In spaces she used to fill. Her Chanel perfume still haunting air. Designer shoes still by door. Gucci bags and walk-in closet. But it wasn't her warmth I missed. It was idea of who I thought she was. That person didn't exist anymore. Like ghost of happy memory. Next morning, get text from Benjamin. Amy's lawyer reached out. She's willing to settle. No contest. Stare at message on iPhone screen. Weight of it sinking in. Like stone in still pond. It was over. All that left now was to sign papers. Watch her walk away for good. But wasn't done. Not yet. Like final act of play. Amy shows up at house later that day. Uninvited but not unexpected. Standing there in designer dress. Looking exhausted. Eyes red-rimmed from crying. Hair disheveled despite efforts. To maintain appearance. Lucas, she says softly. Voice barely above whisper. Can I come in? Step aside without word. Let her enter. She hesitates for a moment. Like expecting trap. As if might slam door in her face. When don't, she walks into living room. Sits on edge of Italian leather couch. Hands wringing together. Like washing invisible stains. I got the papers, she says. Voice barely above whisper. I signed them. Sit in Eames' armchair across from her. Face unreadable as marble statue. Good. Her gaze drops to manicured hands. I wanted to say I'm sorry. For everything. I know I can't fix it. But I need you to know that I regret it. Hurting you. Betraying you. Stop, say cutting her off. Like blade through silk. You're not here for closure, Amy. You're here because you have nothing left. You burned every bridge. Now realizing there's no way back. She flinches. Tears welling in blue eyes. Like morning dew. That's not true. I still love you, Lucas. Laugh comes out. Quiet and bitter as dark coffee. You don't love me? You love idea of me. The safety I gave you. Life I built for us. But second you thought could do better. You threw me away. That's not fair, she whispers, voice breaking like thin ice. Fair? Ask voice rising slightly. You want to talk about fair, Amy? What part of this was fair? You lied to me. Made me doubt myself. Let me believe I wasn't enough. While you ran off with Ryan, behind my back, and now when you've lost everything, you want me to save you? Her face crumbles completely, starts sobbing into French manicured hands. For a moment almost felt something. Pity maybe. But wasn't enough to change anything. I'm moving forward, Amy, say finally. Voice steady as mountain. Without you, papers are signed. This is over. She looks up at me, mascara running down cheeks, like black rain. You'll regret this, she whispers, voice trembling like autumn leaf. One day you'll look back and realize you gave up on us too soon. Stand up slowly, expression cold as winter night. No, Amy. I'll look back and realize I finally chose myself over someone who never deserved me. She doesn't argue, just sits there, broken as shattered crystal, while walk to solid oak door, open it wide. Goodbye, Amy, say. Voice firm as granite, she hesitates for a moment, then rises unsteadily, designer heels clicking on marble floor, walks past me without another word, steps out onto wraparound porch. When door closes behind her, feels strange sense of relief. Not joy, not triumph, just relief, like weight lifting from shoulders. Storm had passed, and for first time in months, air felt clear as mountain spring. Weeks later, sitting in new penthouse apartment, overlooking San Francisco Bay, think about everything been through, the betrayal, the anger, the heartbreak. It had changed me, hardened me in ways hadn't expected, like steel through fire, but hadn't broken me. If there's one thing learned, it's this. Trust is fragile as porcelain. Once it's broken, almost impossible to repair. And love without trust, that's just lie waiting to be uncovered, like snake in garden. For anyone reading this, wondering if they should fight to save something already shattered, my advice is simple. Don't walk away, choose yourself, because sometimes only way to win is to let go, like releasing bird from golden cage.